I went there, and what I saw, I had never seen anything like it in my entire life. It was a sheep's heart, wrapped tightly with a thin paper string. I was completely shocked. I didn't know what to do. I told them, "Hello? Today I want to tell you a story that completely breaks me every time I remember it. But before I continue, please, while listening, keep God's name on your lips." I had a close friend named Sarah. We were really close. One day she asked me, "Is it possible to stay somewhere near your village?" I said, "There aren't many houses for rent here. How long are you staying? Why don't you come stay at our place?" She said, "I'm married now. My husband isn't okay with that." I said, "All right, whatever you're comfortable with. I'll ask the village real estate office. By the way, when are you coming?" She said, "Wednesday to Friday night." So on Wednesday, Sarah and her husband arrived at our village and stayed in an old but beautiful cabin. They really liked it. That night, I was in my room with my sister, drinking tea, when suddenly someone knocked hard on the door. I opened it. Sarah and her husband were standing there, drenched in sweat, shaking with fear. I asked, "What happened?" They said, "We found something in the bedroom." I said, "Okay, but why are you so scared?" Her husband shouted angrily, "Come and see for yourself." I went with them, and what I saw, I had never seen in my life. A sheep's heart wrapped tightly with paper string. I was frozen. I didn't know what to do. I told them, "Come stay at our house. Let your trip end well at least." Her husband screamed, "Damn this trip! We're going back to Tehran." They got in their car and left immediately. The next morning, I went to the owner of the cabin. It's a small village. We all know each other. "Hello, Cobra. How are you?" The old woman, always ill-tempered, said, "What do you want?" I said, "My friends found this in your cabin last night and ran away. Is this a curse? What are you doing to people?" She said, "It's none of my business. Don't be sensitive." I said, "I'll ruin your reputation in this village. Tell me, what did you do?" She said quietly, "My dear, this wasn't my doing. Our village is full of old spells. Anyone who enters that cabin might see those things. Be careful. Some things cannot be ignored." I asked, "So, you didn't put that curse there?" She lowered her head and whispered, "Be quiet. Don't interfere." Her voice was so full of fear, and as if she didn't even know what she had unleashed. When I looked into her eyes, I know this was more than a simple curse. That same night, when I re-entered to the cabin, I felt strange. as if someone was following me. A night wind entered through the windows, and the rustling sounds in the darkness were whispers from the past. Suddenly, the wooden door was knocked slowly. My heart started pounding. I whispered, "God, please help me." Something moved in the darkness. It had no shape, no sound, only a heavy presence. A shadow slowly approached me. I could only whisper, "God." The rustling sound came closer, as if something was standing behind the door, waiting to see me. I thought, I can't be alone. I grabbed my phone and called my sister, but the call wouldn't connect. I felt like something heavy was filling the air, something that even affected the phones. The sound came from inside the house, but not from where I expected. My legs were frozen. I couldn't move. I whispered again, "God, protect me." Now the knocking turned into short, regular taps. Strange, heavy energy flowed through the cabin. I couldn't see it. I couldn't touch it. But I could feel it. Completely. With all the courage I could gather, I said, "Who are you? Who's there?" No answer. Only a vast shadow passed along the wall. Time felt distorted. The clock on the wall shifted forward or backward, I don't know. The darkness deepened. Disgusting smell filled the air like smoky burnt oil. Then another whisper came. This time, closer, softer. "You should not be here. Everything is about to begin." Objects on the table began to move slowly by themselves. An old notebook opened. Strange writings appeared, letters that looked alive, glowing. Whispers came closer. "What did you not see? Now you will see." A tall black shadow moved from the corner of the room towards me. The air became freezing cold. Every breath felt like entering another world. With all my strength, I screamed, "God, help me!" And suddenly, the shadow turned into smoke and disappeared into the book. I breathed again. But one question remained. Why did these things happen in that cabin? The next day, I asked the neighbor. I'll summarize what he told me. You know, the old owners of the cabin were involved with dark prayers and spells. People in the village were always afraid of them. They said those people could send the evil eye, curses, even real misfortune.